Hello Scorpio, thank you for joining me for your weekly reading. So this week we are looking at September the 7th to the 14th. I don't know about you guys, but it's been one hell of a week, like last week. Here's hoping that this coming week is going to be a lot better. Right, as always, timestamps in the description box below. Okay, the B and productivity. It is time to examine your productivity. Disorganization and indecisiveness may be causing you to miss opportunities. So take a moment to prioritize your goals and get a clear view of how to get where you want to go and what it will take to get you there. Okay? So this is all about having a plan and executing it well. Not allowing distractions to get in your way, not sweating the small stuff, okay? Try not to stress over things that are insignificant towards your much bigger plan, okay? And they're saying that because, Scorpio, you guys, you are hyper focused. When you've got your mind set on something, it almost becomes like an obsession, right? Which is why you guys do tend to be high achievers, right? That's a good thing. However, the other side of that particular coin would be when things are not going according to plan, you might tend to freak out a little bit. Okay, oh my God, it's going to be a huge disaster. That this isn't working out, or it's not playing out the way that I thought it would. And then sort of being focused on like the worst case scenario, and then before you know it, you've lost track of the main goal because you started sweating over the small stuff, the insignificant stuff. Okay, so that's what this message is saying. Also, they're asking here for you to look at ways of which you could possibly do things better. Okay, how can you better utilize your time and your efforts? Okay, focus on what is working, and cut out what isn't working. Yep, there we go. So the bumblebee, it'll never visit a flower that it knows is empty. Okay, so yeah, if you're currently doing something and you've been doing it for a while, not working, change up tact. Okay, right. That's kind of spooky actually, because that message, these messages, they don't normally resonate for me, but that one absolutely does this week. Yeah, let's take a look at your rune, your healing crystal, your strongest energies, and of course the tarot. We'll be looking at healing and guidance as well. Whatever this one is, it's just come out squiffy, so we'll find out what that is. Huanyo, interesting. Fun, joy, friendship, and rest. Yeah, with that coming out off center, to put an imagery to this would be a combination of the Six of Wands and the Nine of Cups in tarot. Okay, it's like a combination of those two energies in one. With it coming out off center, this indicates to me that you're probably not in the frame of mind right now to be socializing, okay? But apparently you're needing to be socializing. You're needing to be getting lots of ideas off of other people, lots of opinions, constructive opinions off of other people, speaking to others who have knowledge and experience. So moving in the right circles, sort of thing. With it coming out off center, that indicates to me that you could be feeling stuck when it comes down to dealing with other people specifically. Okay, not allowing yourself enough fun, enough joy, enough things in life that bring you happiness, that you feel happy doing. And that's a really common issue, like regardless of what sign you're from, because again, and it's a drum that I will forever bang. People just don't have time to enjoy life, which is really, really sad. I'm going to say it as it is. It's incredibly fucked up, right? Let's not beat around the bush. So this week, I do feel, with this coming out squiffy, that your frustrations, you not being able to partake in the things that you need to partake in order to make you feel alive, right? That's really going to get you down this week. So we'll pull more cards and we'll find out, okay, well how can we resolve that one? I will leave it in the upright position, okay, because I'm a firm believer in harnessing the positive qualities of that energy throughout your reading. So if you feel that you're needing, and clearly, yeah, you are needing more fun, joy, friendship, more rest, more things in life that are enjoyable, that make life a joy to live, right? If you're needing to encourage more of that energy into your life, which I very much suspect you are, then consider harnessing this particular rune. I always say, just trace it out on a bit of paper, okay? It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's all about your intent as you're tracing it out. So basically, it's the letter P, but it's a pointed P, okay? So yeah, just put your intent into that. I would like to encourage more enjoyable experiences, that's what I'm looking for, into my life, okay? And just keep it in your pocket, under your pillow, wherever you feel is going to be of more benefit for you. At the bottom of the deck, okay, this one's Iwaz. And it's portal energy. This is actually very, very important for your own personal transformation, this one. So I'm just getting caught up in the magic of this card. If you just give me a minute. It literally says death, ending, transformation and rebirth. It's one of your runes, Scorpio, right? I call it Iwaz, which is correct. Some people, depending on what region they're from, they might pronounce it as Awaz, right? Both are correct, it's absolutely fine. It's the yew tree, and the yew tree is all about stability. Okay. Strength, stability, reliability. And these are the qualities that you're going to be bringing to the forefront this week. There is an important situation that is in the process of transforming, and it is vital through this transformation, this transformative time, it is vital that you do not fight back against what is going on. Okay. Stay rooted, stay grounded. Go through this metaphorical portal of opportunities, right? Something is ending, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So with one you're coming out off center, try not to focus on the negatives. Even though that might be difficult, try not to focus on the negatives. Try not to focus on what it is that is being lost, what it is that's being taken away, but rather focus on the opportunities that this loss will bring. Okay, remember, the universe that we're in does not like a void. It does not like a void. Wherever a void is created, it gets filled. Right? Now, I wish I could get more specific than that. I'm not a psychic, I'm an intuitive, so I'm not going to be able to give you pinpoint, accurate, specific details. Right? I can only read the strongest overall energy. Whenever you see Iwaz or Awaz coming out, it is life-changing situations And the presence of this one here indicate positive life changes. However, the process that you have to go through to get to those life-changing positive opportunities, the road there is not going to be a straight one. Okay, that's why Wunyo came out squiffy. So try not to get disheartened or too wrapped up in the what ifs and the buts and the maybes. Okay, focus on what is and what you can do about it. Productivity. There we go. So already the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. While I'm on that deck, I always get inquiries about this deck, and honestly, I'm not surprised because it's an absolutely stunning, beautiful deck. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with these guys at all. Okay, I use their decks. I absolutely love the company, love their decks. The company is called Decks Tiny. One word, Decks Tiny, DECKSTINY. And what they do is they do a lot of rare decks. Okay, so you'll not find this on Amazon or eBay or anything like that. Okay, they're not they're not published in a way that everybody can acquire these decks, is what I'm trying to say, right? This is the Rune deck that I get a lot of inquiries about, and I will try. I don't know if it's still available. I don't know if it's still being produced. If it is, what I'll do, I will get a couple of copies of this deck and use them as part of our monthly gift giveaways that we do every month, right? So this one's called Odyssey of the Elder Filthark, and it's absolutely stunning, beautiful deck. Like I said, I don't know if it's still in production, but that's the company's name. That's who produces them, makes them. Very, very expensive though. For that little deck, you're talking about £65. In dollars, that would be about maybe $80 or $90 for that one little deck. So yeah. Just to give you guys that information, because like I said, I've had so many inquiries about that deck, and every time I use it, I get so many more inquiries about it. So that's the deck, that's the company. Like I said, I will try and source a couple of these decks if they're still in production, and give them away to some lucky subscribers. So let's move on to your healing crystal message. Again, this is another beautiful deck, but the shape of it is quite awkward, so it's difficult to shuffle. I've got to split this deck to get your message out, you see. Right. Oh, do you see what I mean? It's very, very difficult. So what I'm going to do, without looking at those, I'm going to feel one of them is actually hot. You've got that one there. Right, it's that next one there. Okay, so to feel out the energies on the decks, I know it sounds a bit woo to some people, I don't give a shit. You can actually feel the temperature coming off the cards, and that's how you know. Actually, that's your message. That's how I pick out the decks before I do every read. Right, so your first one, rose quartz, right? So this is heart chakra based. And it says, love, nurture, and romance. Calling in unconditional love, rose quartz invokes a gentle yet powerful feminine energy that nurtures and protects your heart. It can be used to attract new romance and to build closer bonds in your relationships. Okay, so you can see we've got a huge piece of rose quartz right here, right? And this will help you to relate to other people and other people to relate to you, okay? It encourages unconditional love. Unconditional love for yourself and, of course, for others. And it's the for others part that can be a lot easier said than done. So, If you're wanting to encourage new romance into your life, rose quartz, that's going to be your ally. And maybe keep a piece, small piece in your pocket. If you're going through struggles with friends, family, co-workers, if you feel like you're not being heard, you're not being listened to, just keep a piece of this either in your hand or in your pocket. If there's trouble at work, leave a piece of this on your desk at work, okay? And straight away, you're going to feel the energy, any tense energy start to dissipate a bit. Okay, again, I know it sounds a bit woo for some, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, you don't have to do it or believe it or anything. Everyone's got their own beliefs. Okay, these readings are just to help, right? And anything that's going to help, even if you do think it's a little bit woo, well, that's fine. But if it helps, do you know what I mean? Okay, so rose quartz opens the heart chakra and heals heartache, grief, and any unexpressed emotions. It asks that you show yourself compassion, show yourself forgiveness, and show yourself acceptance, right? Because when you can afford those things for yourself, you're going to be able to afford those for others as well. Okay. Rose quartz also inspires beauty in all forms. Open your heart to the beauty within you, and it's associated with Taurus, Libra, and the planet Venus. Yeah, of course, the planet Venus, because Venus is the planet for love, beauty, art, relationships, attraction, fertility, okay, and your ideals as well. That's Venus energy. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do feel that rose quartz is one of the most underestimated crystals. I really, really do. It's a reminder that basically, see how that's the same. Rose quartz heart and then a rose quartz crystal. Yeah, I just find rose quartz is a very underestimated crystal because everything starts with you. Okay, what's this one? I don't even know what this one is. Rainbow Mionite. I've never heard of Rainbow Mionite before. Apparently, that's what it looks like. For your chakra alignment. Chakra alignment, foundation, karma. Okay, listen. Something about... no, I'm not going to say this week because it's been going on longer than a week. But if you watch what goes on in the world, and if you are sensitive to energies, you can spot a pattern. You can spot a pattern of when we are in highly karmic times. And right now, I would say the past month, that's been a highly karmic time. September, all of September, that's highly karmic. And the next month to come, October. So August, September, and October, energetically, I feel has been and will be incredibly karmic times. Like it follows a pattern, it follows a cycle, and like I said, if you are highly sensitive, you would have noticed that pattern, right? So this is going to be the opportune moment for you guys to work on, again, sounds a bit woo, but hey, if it helps, then wonderful. This is the time for you to focus on your chakra alignment. How to do that? Doing the inner work. What is it that Spirit's telling you to start off with? Your heart chakra. Okay, your heart space. Which is working through any grief that you've not yet expressed, and anything that you're holding in emotionally that is actually building up emotional toxins in your own body. Okay, finding healthy outlets to express any repressed memories, emotions, trauma. Okay. This one says, an exceptionally high vibrational crystal, rainbow myonite, allows you to face any challenging karmic patterns and pulls out the drudgery of the past that is ingrained in the energetic body. It heals emotional traumas on every level, rebuilding the foundation for a healthy support system from the inside out. Connecting you to your spiritual team, this crystal can guide you in seeing multiple perspectives, offering many solutions, existing in ultimate alignment with all of your chakras. Rainbow myonite helps you to step into your authentic truth. And this one is associated with Leo, Virgo, Libra, the planets Sun and Pluto. Okay. Pluto is still a planet. I don't care what anyone says. Right. So with the associations of the planets Sun and Pluto, that indicates for your chakra alignment, it's working with your ego. Pluto is going to magnify anything and everything that it touches. So something to do with a person's ego is what's being highlighted and magnified this week. Okay? So challenging situations that might, you might have to, I want to say, consider putting your ego to one side, or consider how much control your ego might have over you. Okay? We've all got ego. It's not a dirty word. Ego just literally means sense of self. Some individuals have an inflated sense of self, and some individuals have an underdeveloped sense of self. Okay? It takes practice to get that sense of self on a even keel, as they say, right? So something about what side of the scale, the bottom, the middle, or the top, what side of that egoistic scale are you on? Something about that is going to be highlighted this week. Right, let's take a look at some of the strongest energies that's going on this week. Also, I do need to remind you guys, if anything comes out of these reads that you do not like the look of, it is completely within your power to change. You do have free will. Tarot is a guide. It is a temperature check. It is not set in stone. Concentration and publicity. You're bringing something to light here. You're making something public. You're making other people aware of your difficult situations, of which difficult situations have been mentioned numerous times already in your reading. You're bringing your struggles to light. Your troubles and your struggles, whatever this is that's been going on specifically for you, you're making it public. You're making it public. They're saying here, if you haven't already thought it through, then this is going to be the week for you to think it through and to get all of your facts. Okay, see all those swords there? I don't think you can see those swords actually. Get all of your facts lined up, get all your ducks in a row, as it were, okay, before you even speak. See how that kind of looks like a demon on those lips? Well, that's a metaphor, obviously, for lies and for tricksters and for people twisting the truth, right? So focus. Concentrate what you're going to say, how you're going to say it. Do you have receipts? Do you have anyone who's going to be able to back you up? Providing you've got all of your ducks lined up, then you're going to be well prepared for when certain individuals start to twist your words, okay, or flat out deny something that they've said or something that they've done, you got to concentrate. You got to, do you remember that almost obsessive focus that Scorpios are really, really good at? You've got to really tap into that this week, like for real, okay? You've got to not just watch what it is that you're saying, but you've also got to observe what other people are saying and also what it is that they're not saying. Okay, you've got to concentrate. Look at these brambles down there. See those brambles? And then you've got the star in the middle of that spider web. You've got to get through the brambles first, right? And I'm seeing that web as a web of lies. You're bringing light, and you are doing the right thing, by the way, because that's why the star is right in the middle of that web. You are doing the right thing here by revealing, making something public, okay, making the truth known. It's not going to be easy, though. Why is it not going to be easy? Because of other fucking people. Other fucking people getting in your way, okay? So do be prepared for that, because there is going to be a fight on your hands. As long as you've got all of your facts, your proof, your evidence, you're not going to have anything to worry about, okay? You've got more stars on that card, actually. And no, not all of these cards in this deck have got stars on them. They genuinely don't. You've got a star in the middle of the web, and then you've got this figure who is pointing to one of these stars specifically. And there's 4 of them on that card. So the card number is 5, which indicates change. Change is not always a negative thing, although it can be perceived as being negative, because deep down people generally don't really like change. Let's be real. So change can be a little bit disruptive, but this guy's pointing at this star. Star is healing, nurturing, you're doing the right thing, you're going in the right direction. And with it being 4 stars there, that's stability, right? So here's the thing, where you were told this week that you're going to be working with your ego, that's not a bad thing, right? Get your ego on a nice, even balance, right? So say, for example, if you've got an underdeveloped sense of ego and you're a little bit shaky on your feet, you're a little bit nervous, you're a little bit shy, you're a little bit quiet, do you know what I mean? You're a little bit unsure of yourself. That's an underdeveloped ego. Bring that up. You got to bring that up this week, okay? Take that ego to the next level. If you're on the opposite side of that particular coin and your ego is too inflated, right? Any knock, any slight is going to feel like you've been obliterated, right? So bring that ego down. You want to get it in the middle, okay? That's why they told you that right there, because you're going to need to have a good, strong, healthy sense of self in order to get through those brambles, okay? You're not going to be able to pull this off if you're shaky, if you're nervous, if you're uncertain of what it is you're saying, if you're questioning yourself, if you're gaslighting yourself and you don't know if you're doing the right thing, yada, 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 list goes on. Equally, you're also not going to be able to get through those brambles if someone's too arrogant, too ignorant, if they're making a lot of assumptions because their ego can't possibly allow them to be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like both sides, both of those extremes is going to be bad. Get yourself in the middle. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know the truth. I have the proof. I have facts. I have evidence. And then when this bullshit, these lies, these little tricksters, these twisters of your words start kicking off with their shit, you're going to be so calm And calmness is what's going to win the day. Okay. You've got achievement at the bottom of that deck. So let's dissect this card. Achievement. Interesting. Because it's showing here an image of... I want to say it kind of reminds me of some... like Houses of Parliament or something like that. It looks like a castle with its little town built around it, right? But it's not very secure because there's an opening there. There's an opening there. Do you know what I mean? Something's not secure. And I think that's really important to note, that something isn't secure, something isn't tight. It's not. It's not as because that's a compound, and compounds by nature, they are supposed to be secure, like lockdown. So something's not on lockdown. Something's not secure, and I feel it's to do with these troubles that you've been having. Okay. Which tells me whoever this is or whatever it is that you're going up against this week, their position is not as secure as what they thought, what they assumed it was. And I'm seeing that gives you the upper hand, because bearing in mind, this achievement card came out for you. It's not come out for them. It's come out for you. It's come out in your reading. It's also a number 10, which is completion. Okay, so this cycle, it's going through a little bit of a chaotic, transformative time. You've got to be able to hold your own. Okay, you have to be able to hold your own. Their position is nowhere near as secure as what they think it is. I can tell you that for nothing. And it feels serious. It does feel serious. Okay, let's have a look at the tarot. Can you tell us more about this situation for Scorpio, please? So I'm going to pull cards at random, okay? With this particular deck, honestly, it's such a powerful deck that I don't feel it necessary to clarify each of these cards one by one by one, because I don't think I'd be able to give you any new information than what Spirit's already given you there. So I'm just going to start pulling cards in pairs to see if I can give you any new information on top of what I've already given you. Okay, Page of Pentacles, that one's come out squiffy. Straight away, I feel like someone is assuming that you're naive, that you're not knowledgeable. Someone's assuming that you've got nothing. You've got nothing to produce. You've got nothing to give. It could be about evidence as well, because I have to read within context of what Spirit's already been telling you guys. Okay, I feel like someone's assuming, Scorpio's got nothing. We're fine. We're fine. We're watertight. Do you know what I mean? But there's this glaringly obvious weakness, if you will. Why is there not a gate there? Why is it completely open? It shouldn't be completely open. That's a compound. There should be a gate there, or a fucking drawbridge or something. And it's wide open. It's wide open. I feel like someone is giving you an opportunity that you can take advantage of, and they don't even realize that they've done that. Does that make sense? They don't even realize that they've done that. They're going off of a lot of assumptions here. So you've been misjudged. That's also squiffy. Temperance off center. So I feel like someone assumes that they are going to be able to push you to your absolute limits to the point where you're going to break down and lose your shit or lose your temper or something like that. Always be cautious of temperance coming out squiffy, because that indicates somebody is about to make a mistake. Why are they about to make a mistake? Because they haven't been patient. Because they haven't been patient. Because they've allowed their own frustrations dominate, again, ego. Okay. I feel like somebody is assuming that you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Oh, that deck, it suddenly went incredibly heavy. The King of Pentacles. Interesting. Because King of Pentacles is an indicator of success, specifically financial success, where it's not about growth, okay? It's financial success and stability. I think that one just came out reversed. It did, the Devil reversed. Yeah, you're too smart for that, Scorpio. You're far too smart to fall for the okie doke with the Devil reversed. That's breaking free. It's breaking free from all of the things that were keeping you stuck, that was keeping you confined. It could be other people trying to abuse their position, abuse their power, trying to be a bully, definitely being corrupt. The assumption everyone makes, oh, they're just going to get away with it. Well, guess what? No, they're not. You've already been told a few times in this read that past 3 months, August, September, and October yet to come, very, very karmic times. As in, these are the times where people don't get away with shit. They don't get away with shit. In spite of how things might look on the surface. Is this Devil reversed? Thank you. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles. Things balancing out, and also I actually feel like you are, because someone's trying to lead you into that web. You are not going to voluntarily walk into that web. You're taking things off in a different direction that these people are not expecting you to do, because they've left that other opportunity over there wide open and they don't even realize it. Okay. That then leaves you with two different options. Now, I don't know what they two different options are, but you are going to end up with two different options. I need another card for this Devil reverse, please. Scorpio. Yeah, the Tower and the Five of Swords. It's not going to work. It's not going to work against you, Scorpio. I feel like someone's trying to bring devastation into your life here, and it's not going to work. It isn't. The Five of Swords. This is somebody literally picking a fight with you, and they don't realize who they're actually picking a fight with. They haven't a clue who they're picking a fight with. And I'll tell you straight away, with the messages of ego, the one who does not have full control over their own ego, that's going to be the loser in this situation. I can tell you that now for nothing. And the one who has got control of their own ego, the one who has tempered themselves to the point where they are okay with waiting a couple of days or waiting a month or two, you know, they don't personalize and internalize lies. Okay, they don't allow lies to disrupt how solid they feel about who they are as a person. Okay, that's who the winner here is going to be. So if someone's got an overinflated ego, imagine if you're going up against a person who's got an overinflated ego, then yes, potentially you absolutely could use that against them, because that is a weakness. That is not a strength, that is a weakness. Something here is being exposed. That's under there, the High Priestess, yeah. Talk about sense of self, right? The one who is more in tune with themselves. Interesting. What else can you tell us about the situation for Scorpio? I don't even know what to call this reading. The Hermit. Self-control. Keeping your plans to yourself. Self-mastery. Self-mastery. We've had so many messages about self-mastery. The Five of Cups. It's a loss. Interesting. And the Knight of Wands off center. Okay. See, that Knight of Wands off center, that's a really dominating, very controlling individual. It's that's someone who's very, very arrogant, very egotistical, who deliberately causes others trouble, who deliberately frustrates situations. It's with a Five of Cups and a Hermit, though. Five of Cups is a loss. I need to get a new deck. What's this Five of Cups? See if I can figure out what this Five of Cups is saying. Then it'll all make sense. What's this Five of Cups? A King of Swords off center. Ah. It's a devil on the lips there, isn't it? Because that's deliberate. So, Scorpio, someone's trying to deliberately mislead you. Okay. They're going to try and deliberately mislead you. But with this Hermit being here, and we saw the High Priestess as well, you're going to see it coming a mile off. You will see it a mile off. And that's something else that you're going to be able to use against these liars that are trying to cause devastation and destruction in your life. Yeah, nice. The Six of Wands. Like literally. Someone's getting caught up in their own lies. Caught up and caught out by their own lies. You can tell us more about that Devil reversed. Thank you. Page of Wands. Interesting, because that's quite a jovial energy. And the Three of Wands off center. Okay, so this situation, the end result, it does feel a lot like you will be able to break free, because obviously devil reversed is breaking free energy. It's liberation energy, either physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or all of the above. Okay, you will be breaking free, feeling very, very happy about it, but part of you will be a little bit worried about it at the same time, because then it's kind of like, okay, so now what's the future going to bring? Do you know what I mean? So it's like straight away you've got this victory. Whoever this is that's trying to bring chaos, devastation and destruction to your life, you being clever throughout that process and calm brings the victory that you need, right? It exposes all of the lies and the trickery that was used against you, or that someone tried to use against you. Okay, they're being exposed, which frees you. It frees you, and honestly, you feeling happy about it yet worried at the same time. It's could be to do with your finances here. It could be to do with your stability in general, with that being the King of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, bookending this devil reversed. I feel like Spirit's telling you you're going to have two different choices at the end of this, and whichever one of these choices that you pick at the end of this particular part of your journey, you're not going to be able to pick wrong, because either of these choices are going to be good choices. Okay, but it feels like a pivotal moment where your entire life changes. Right? It's one of those pivotal moments that you're going to be looking back on in 5 years' time, maybe 10 years' time, and you'll be like, that was really weird how that happened, because now look how different my life is. And my life wouldn't be this good, this great, this different had that awful situation back then never have happened. This is one of those times, and that's what makes it extremely karmic. Okay, so hopefully I was able to explain all of those energies coherently, because I can never tell if I'm explaining things properly. Admittedly, I'm not good with my words. Not at all. So, yeah, I think that's just social anxiety anyway. Right, so healing messages. Let's take a look. Wise women of the grove, grace, and owl spirit, wisdom. So everything that you do, move with grace. And look how there's a piece of treasure in that chest there. Okay, and it's sort of healed, strange. Bit of a slip there. I wanted to say concealed, and it came out as healed. So make of that what you will, right? And it's like, this woman knows that treasure's there, okay, but she's not in any sort of rush, okay? She's not like grabbing at it, trying to bury it, and grabbing it up and like, no, it's mine, no one else can have it, right? She's like, I'm gonna leave this treasure here, and whoever deserves it, they will find it. It's moving with grace. And then owl spirit and wisdom. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will give you the full... Oh, it opened up immediately on owl spirit, so I'll keep my finger there. I will give you the full healing message. That one, because I don't think you guys would object to having an extended reading. Okay, the wise woman of the grove steps forward and hands you an intricately carved wooden box. This is my gift to you. Guard it well. With care you open the box, and inside rests a ruby. It sparkles in the light. This is a joy activator, she says. So hold it to your heart, and all around you, in all directions, all beings will relax and find joy in the moment. Joy is the great gift that you can give another. It is a gift of grace. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a remarkable time of ease, wisdom, healing, joy, and inspiration. Your ability to hear the voices of spirit is rapidly expanding. Spirit guardians are watching over you with immense love and kindness. Being in the state of grace means being blessed by divine forces. Grace can mean having enough inner nobility. That even if you know your opinion is absolutely right, you don't push the point. Yeah, it's that ego imbalance thing again. You are willing to drop it, knowing that in the great scheme of things, it is not that important. Besides, the Creator knows the truth of the situation, even if others don't. There are times to be abruptly, starkly honest, but this isn't one of them. Be diplomatic and gracious with your interactions with others, and speak with love and kindness. Yeah. So basically, as soon as, because clearly someone is trying to get you to lose your temper, and as soon as they're able to get you to lose your temper, you've kind of lost at that point. The spirit of the wise women of the grove says, you can relax and let go. Your path is guided. Spiritual nobility is growing within you. The spirit of grace is softly unfolding in your life. So kindly honor the truth of others, even if you don't agree or if you know better. The Creator knows the truth. Yeah. Basically, it means not everything needs to be a fight. Okay. Let the truth speak for itself. Right? And because I do feel that there are potentially false accusations here as well with that devil on those lips. When people are making false accusations about you, yes, it is so incredibly, incredibly painful. And it is destructive, because having lies told about you, that can destroy everything. Everything that you've built, relationships around you, do you know what I mean? People start looking at you different, they start treating you different, all because of some other piece of shit's false allegations about you. What they're saying is, when you've mastered your ego, you're not going to feel that emergency urge to run out and tell everybody what they're saying isn't true. No. Okay. Have you ever heard of they who doth protest too much? It accidentally makes you look guilty, right? So bring it back to you, and you're like, yeah, okay, these people, they are making accusations. It might even be very dangerous accusations as well, right? We've all had that at some point. And likely we'll have to deal with it again at some point as well. They're saying, when you know who you are, and you're witnessing as other people are joining in with the bullshit, let it happen, because if anyone's going to straight away believe the worst of you, they're not worth having in your life anyway. Do you know what I mean? The owl spirit and wisdom. And this one says, the sun has set and you can feel a remarkable transformation occurring. Your body shapeshifts into an owl. You stretch out with your huge wings and silently soar to the top of the tallest pine tree and look over the moonlit forest. Your ability to see the smallest details, even in the darkness. That's a powerful metaphor there, isn't it? Your ability to see the smallest details, even in the darkness, is remarkable. Your sight expands and you see luminous light bodies of the spirit of the forest. They signal you with love and compassion. Abounding insight and profound majesty and grace are available to you now, simply by pulling your awareness inward. Ancient wisdom is emerging. You know the truth. Trust your intuition and trust your perceptions right now. You're a truth seeker and a truth sharer. So that's why it's happening. Because those who are in that devil energy are afraid of the truth coming out. The excellent sight of an owl in the darkness corresponds with your ability to perceive the reality of a situation, even in the murkiest of conditions. When this card chooses you, you're at the advent of a time of profound illumination and transformation. The owl sits at the shoulder of Athena and Merlin, revealing sacred truths. In some native cultures, the owl is called the night eagle, for it has the majesty of the eagle, but it works silently in the darkness of the night. This card can also mean that it's time to embrace your dark side as well as your light. Through doing so, you will then be in balance. The spirit of the owl says, trust in your ability to see the deepest truth in situations and in people. Wisdom is growing within you in mysterious ways beyond your own awareness. This is a good time to sign up for inspirational courses. Messages from spirit are all around you. Look for them and trust what you feel. Yeah. That one... It encompasses what we've already said in your tarot read. It's kind of like that's the little ribbon on the top of your tarot read, right? What else for Scorp? Thank you. Okay, where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Don't compare yourself to others. That only adds pressure. Take each day as it comes and for what it is. You are a better person than you were yesterday. Growth isn't easy, but you've got this. Okay? So the only one you should be comparing yourself to is you and who you were yesterday. And that's it. Okay. Be the chess player and not the chess piece. Shitty people only think about making moves that will only affect themselves, but good people make moves that can benefit the whole entire game. Yeah, so that indicates that it's not just you that is being affected by this entire situation. There's a whole group of people or a whole room of people who are affected by what is going on with this situation. So by you winning the game, it's going to be a win for everyone else in that room. Okay. Always be willing to get shit done. If you want to change your shitty life into a less shitty one, know that it takes a huge pile of courage to go after and to do what others are not willing to do. So you're literally the only one who's willing to stand up for yourself and to stand up for others then, Scorpio. What is it they say about evil only prospers because good people sit by and do nothing? Something like that. I don't recall the full quote, but yeah. So you're willing to do what other people are far too cowardly to do, basically. Kudos to you. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that reading has been helpful. For personal readings with me, my website is phoenixkeyatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. There's an ice cream van outside, so I'm going to try and run out and see if I can catch them, because an ice cream right now sounds absolutely wonderful. But yeah, personal readings below, information on bracelets, card decks, anything you need, description box below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.